Welcome to Giant Ability TV.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20. The world is full of hypocrisy, and until you hope, you cannot find things that are beyond your hopes. A Moroccan proverb admonishes that, if you see a man riding a bamboo cane, say to him, "Good health to your horse." This is instructive and in relation to the nice gesture of the United States of America that sent a 9-man delegation to the inauguration of Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29, 2023. This action was a diplomatic move and reflective of the truism of the saying that people get the history they deserve. America, understandably, was not ignorant of the controversies that trailed the emergence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which, as a matter of fact, led America into lending its voice into the controversy by calling on the Nigerian government to correct the irregularities associated with the conduct of the presidential election of February 25, 2023. This call metamorphosed into the announcement made by the United States of America of the placement of visa ban on some politicians whom they identified as having undermined the electoral processes in Nigeria. As the saying goes, as you lay your bed, so you shall lie on it, and heavens, they say, help those who help themselves. Trust that America, a country which by all standards fits in for description as a beacon of light and a custodian of democracy, knows better, and hence the 9-man delegation and not 10, for with one stick, the Fulani man of Nigeria is believed to take charge and controls more than 100 cows at a go. All the thoughts of a turtle are turtle. The only challenge which I see with the position of the United States of America and in relation to her exalted position is how to balance the matters of integrity and diplomacy. And in relation to this wise saying of George Washington, the first American president, if to please the people we offer what we ourselves disapprove, how can we afterward defend our work? Let us raise the standards to which the wise and the honest can repair. Furthermore, everything in Nigeria, especially in relation to the activities of the All Progressive Congress Party and its leaders, prominent among which were the former President Muhammadu Buhari and the former national leader and now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been premised on deceit, falsehood, and hypocrisy, lending credence to the definition of a Congress of Power by Napoleon I as the seat agreed upon between diplomats, which is the pen of Machiavelli combined with the sword of Muhammad. The Nigerian situation before the transfer of power had called not for politics but statesmanship. Unfortunately, this call was not heeded. Rather, what Nigerians have staring them in the face again is politics, which understandably, without beating about the bush, and according to Napoleon I, has no heart. For if only has a head. This revelation has to a large extent shed light on why politicians cannot be trusted with the destiny of a nation like Nigeria. Think of it. If the heart is taken out of a man, of what use are the remaining parts of the body? What remains without gainsaying the fact is not different from an artificial intelligence that makes man fit in for description as a robot. It is therefore not surprising why our so-called leaders are wicked, with no human feelings in them at all. The emergence of Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the president of Nigeria by law can best be explained in the light of the above. The most painful and disappointing part of it all was how Nigerians, especially the youth, were deceived by having their hopes raised with promises that their vote would count, and that the introduction of the beavers machines was also to be a game changer. While these promises were being made, the heartless politicians from former President Muhammadu Buhari, the INEC chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu, members of the All Progressives Congress Party with their national leader then as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to the judiciary knew well within themselves that the journey to be embarked upon was leading to no other place than the selection of the next president of the country. The outcome of what turned out to the vulnerable Nigerians, and especially the youth in the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was already premeditated. This is Nigeria of our reality, though not of our choice. This is not a time for the well-meaning citizens of this great country, Nigeria, to lose hope. Rather, it should be a time for retrospection and introspection, as the case may be. We ought to defer our liking of those with whom we converse till we have taken some notice of the disposition of their mind. Otherwise, the beauty of their person or charms of their wit may make us fond of those whom our reason or judgment will tell us we ought to aver. George Shelley. It is heart-wrenching to observe with great pains in the heart how Nigerians, especially members of the armed forces, were in high spirit and made good appearances at the inauguration ceremony, which was held at the Eagle Square on May 29, 2023. One would have wished that the good appearances was a reflection of the condition of living of the gallant members of the armed forces, which, as a matter of fact, is a complete opposite of what the reality of the situation on the ground is. It is wise and of necessity to offend with substance and not with style, for show is not substance. But where deceit is the trademark of a government and where people have no choice than to subject themselves to the most unbearable situation as required by the ethics of their profession, one can only pray that the entire system gets better not by the will and power of man but through a divine force that can bring about the long-awaited change in the country. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are welcome to the dawn of the realization of what you have described as your life ambition. Bear in mind that ambition can be realized without becoming a blessing, whereas vision is a divine assignment and the achievement of what automatically makes one a blessing. We have heard and read of many leaders who ended up as a failure and a complete insignificant nullity in the annals of world history. The most pathetic thing about your position as the President of Nigeria today is particularly the process through which you emerge. It is well known to Nigerians that you came into power through the back doors, and when and where the foundation of any government or establishment is laid on a sinking sand, which in other words refers to illegality and fraud of unimaginable proportions, it is of certain and without any gainsaying the fact that such establishment cannot stand, no matter how much one tries. Another painful thing about your emergence is the fact that you claim to be a bona fide Yoruba man. As far as I know, the Yorubas are people of high moral standards, the attributes which are traceable to their founding fathers. They believe strongly in hard work, honesty, and the fear of God. Without going too far into the distant past, people like the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo can be a good example. This great man did not become the president of Nigeria but died with integrity and left a legacy that the yet unborn generation would be encouraged to cherish and emulate. Late Chief MKO Abiola is another good example of a great Nigerian hero and a true Yoruba man that is worthy of celebration. He won the June 12 elections fair and square in the rare sense of it and not as you understand and proclaim it in the relation to your victory. These are good Yoruba people of repute and moral endowment. I wonder how your wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who is a pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and your children see your victory. You know, it depends on perception and it's also a matter of choice. One can either see a cup as half full or half empty. One thing I want to assure you is that you have successfully bought every agency of government in Nigeria with money, as well as having succeeded in buying over people with reprobate minds from the former President Muhammadu Buhari, down to the baby former minister Festus Keyamo, and other hungry politicians to your side. It is impossible, and I assure you, to buy over Nigerians who have suffered losses under the watch of the former President Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressives Congress Party, which you are the national leader in the past 8 years with a view to gaining legitimacy for your government. You can fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. I assure you that the true and bona fide Yorubas of Nigeria, both at home and abroad, are not proud and are disappointed in you. You are not a true reflection of what the Yorubas stand for in terms of hard work before success. Your wife was seen preaching to Nigerians and asking for their support, claiming that your family is rich enough and not craving any material or monetary gains from Nigeria.
Into Isaiah 43, verses 18 to 19. that we should not remember the former things, that God is going to do a new thing. A new thing came, and we still kept arguing with God. Who can argue with his maker? No one. And I know in Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 14, God said, whatsoever I do it is forever. We cannot add to it. We cannot take out of it. God does it so that men will fear before him. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Today we have heard in the Psalm 133, verses 1 to 3, except there is new unity, blessings cannot flow down. This is the time for Nigeria to come together, for us to be renewed in our hope again. To hope in Nigeria. Young children have sang here today. They are expecting the best for Nigeria. Nigeria's wealth is the commonwealth of all. It belongs to everyone. God has blessed my family. We don't need the wealth of Nigeria to survive, but to do the right thing. And I promise you on this altar that with your help, with the help of God, we will set this nation on the right path.
Her submission sounded very absurd and laughable, to say the least. She has forgotten that not all Nigerians are fools that can be taken for a ride. The source of your wealth is not unknown to Nigerians, as well as all the controversies surrounding your date of birth, educational qualification, as well as other atrocious activities that you engaged in both within and outside the country before the elections of February 25, 2023. These are aside from the mass rigging and falsification of election results sheets that characterized the presidential elections of February 25, 2023, of which you were the principal beneficiary. One would have thought, as the saying goes, that liars have good memories, but the reverse is the case with Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, the First Lady of the newly purchased Nigeria. In addition, the Yorubas have been reduced to a dumping ground by your ascendance to the position of president. The Hausa Fulanis have succeeded in having their way once again by imposing you on Nigerians, but this time it is to their destruction. The only piece of advice I have for Nigerians is to keep hope alive, because the ways of God are higher than the ways of man, and so are his thoughts. I am not oblivious to the fact that because Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself had said severally before the election that he made Muhammadu Buhari president, and we all know the Nigerians suffered under the watch of Buhari, and because it is time for God to avenge all the killings and the losses that took place in the past 8 years, that is why he has brought the man who claimed to be God and the kingmaker to bear all the brunt. Because sentences against an evil work are not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner does evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. Though hands join in hands, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Ecclesiastes 8:11-12, Proverbs 11:21. On a final note, I salute the courage, doggedness and resilience of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party and the true winner of the February 25, 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. His Vice President, our beloved Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed Yusuf, and all the obedient worldwide. Bear in mind that the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their president is just the beginning to the end of the struggle for the recovery of our stolen mandate. We are yet to see the worst in the Nigerian judiciary because until it is over, it cannot be said to be over. One of the best ways of putting the devil to shame is to be resolute and not giving up. For with persistence, an iron beam can be grinded down into a needle. We still have one more round to go with the Nigerian judiciary, especially as Mr. Peter Gregory Obi has consistently said that he believes in the judiciary. We should keep hope alive, for without hope, faith has nothing to pursue and let alone catch. In conclusion, a wise man suggests that if you seek the kennel then you must break the shell, and likewise, if you would know the reality of nature, you must destroy the appearance, and the farther you go beyond the appearance, the nearer you would be to the essence. Be ever questioning, for ignorance is not bliss, it is oblivion. You don't go to heaven if you die dumb. Become better informed, learn from others' mistakes, for you could not live long enough to make them all yourself. All days for the thieves, but one day for the owner. May God bless Nigeria.
Thank you for watching.